All right, so I know we're throwing a lot at you. I'm going to show you guys one more tool. And this tool is called Formative. It used to be called Go Formative. Now it's Formative. So you might have used it before, I don't know. And they are giving premium access out to everyone affected by the COVID crisis. So we actually get to use all the fun tools right now. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can show you what that looks like. All right. So to go to Formative, you would just go to goformative.com. And I already set up our district so that we should all be getting access as a, actually I'm going to change my sharing here so you can see my desktop because I realize I'm going to want to show you something else as well. And oh my goodness, all the Zoom windows. So the reason I like Go Formative is that you can actually upload like PDFs and everything. So this is one I actually used a lot for math. I know there's teachers and some guys that are using this for math as well, since you already have your Bridges documents to use. So with Formative, if you go, you should be able to, when you log in, you should already, with your CUSD account, be registered to get premium access. And I'm going to show you how to double check that, because if you don't have that, then I want you to email me so I can make sure I get you in there. So when you go to goformative.com, you will go into sign up, and then you just need to sign in with Google and use your CUSD Google account. So you'll click the sign up with Google and then use your CUSD account. I already have an account, so I can't do that. So then I'm just going to log in, sign in with Google. And this is your page that you're going to kind of get taken to. It's kind of your home page. You should have all of these things, except you won't have this little admin thing here that got added for me to kind of manage the district. So basically, Formative is just a way that you can build out different assessment tools that you could push out to your kids, and then you can give them feedback directly with those tools. So it's really nice. I'm going to kind of walk you through like how you can create one, especially with a math document. But the one thing I do want you to check is once you are in, and I want you to check and make sure you have the right account. So to go into that, once you're logged in, you're going to go up here to the right corner, click your little icon here, and I want you to click plan. And then it should say group access. If it doesn't say group access, then that means that you're not, for some reason, linked to the district. So then I want you to just send me an email, mklusner@campbellusd.org, and we'll try to see if we can get to the bottom of why you're not being added into it, because it will ask you to actually see what school you're at when you're setting up your account. So you'll, that way, because then what's nice is once you have group access, you can actually start to create assessment tools with everyone on your team, and you can have co-collaborators. So it's great for PLC work and to have common formative assessments. And again, and then you can also start sharing them back and forth. So if you are working with your teaching partners, you could divide and conquer on different assessments. You're not all having to build out all the assessments. And then you just click here to go back to your homepage. They have a great quick start guide, and I will share that link with you when I send out the recap email for all of this, and it just kind of walks through the basics to get started. There's a lot of features on here. You don't need to be able to know how to use all the features to get stuff out. You can also, what's really nice is when you come in, you can actually sync this with both Clever and Google Classroom roster. So you don't have to manually add your kids or give them a code to join. You can automatically sync. So you can see here, right, I have my Google Classroom with our one student in it, but you can sync to your rosters. You can also, if you don't use Google Classroom, you can sync to Clever, which we all have access to. You can also manually create a class. So if you have like a small group that you work with and you want that to be a class, then you could do that. When you assign assessments though, you can choose which kids it goes out to. So it can go out to the whole class, or it could just go out to a few select individuals. And then you can also create, again, teams with teachers where you can start to collaborate and share features. And that's one of the nice things with that premium feature is you have that access. So I'm going to show you how, kind of like walk you through how I would create like a math, turning one of my like Bridges math pages into a formative assessment on here that I could push out digitally. So you go to your formatives page, you click new formative, and then you just get this blank screen. And basically it wants you to hit the plus button. And the first time you do this, a little pop-up's going to come up next to every button to kind of walk you through the process as well. They did a great job with helping you get started with this. And when you start, you have all these options. It's a lot. So you can add audio, you can embed a website. Keep in mind some things can't be embedded, some things can. You could do an image, you can do a text box, a video, you could put a little whiteboard up. And that's just content, right? So maybe you just want like directions or like a video for them to watch and then respond to. You could do that. And then these are all your question answers that you have for your kids. So you can have them do audio response so they can actually respond by talking. So especially maybe for our younger kids or kids that have a hard time, like our English language learners, this is a great way for them to still participate. You can have categorization. You can have them type an essay. You can have a graphing activity, matching, multiple choice, multiple selection, numeric. So it brings up kind of like what showed up on quizzes with that math thing where they can actually has all, it's kind of like a math keypad. Resequencing, short answer, show your work, which is basically they can draw and write on it, or true false. Some of these you can set up to auto grade. Some obviously cannot be auto grade. Yeah, right, you have to go in and go in there and set it up. You can also enhance your own content. And I'm going to show you, this is actually what I'm going to do. You can actually upload like a PDF or a document or a Google Doc and then annotate it and turn it into an interactive assessment. Or you can pull things from existing questions. So I want to actually have them do a Bridges worksheet that we already have existed. So the first thing I need to do is get a hold of that Bridges worksheet. So to do that, I actually went to the Bridges site and I downloaded the third grade student workbook. And it's a huge document, but now I have access to all the pages kids have to use. And so I already know what page I want them to do. I want to do this more arrays document here. So I know here it's page 167. I just want a PDF of that one page though. I don't want all like 300 pages. So to turn this into a one page, I'm going to say print. And then apparently I have the pinwheel of death on my computer. There we go. Now, when you go up to print, you can actually turn it so that you save it as a PDF. So you can see here, I'm going to set up, and your print settings, everyone's print thingy might be a little bit different. So just keep that in mind. Yours might be a little bit different, but I can actually change my pages. So I just want this to be page 167. And then I'm going to go here to where it says here, right, open and preview. I can save this as a PDF. And then I'm going to, oh, come on, computer. Right, and it's going to bring up some options for me so I can title it whatever I want to title it. I can choose where it's going to save. Desktop is fine. And then I'm going to click save. So now what's nice is I have just a PDF of that one page. And you can do multiple pages. I'm doing a one page, but you could have like a couple of pages as well. So now when I come here, I'm going to click enhance a PDF. And it's going to ask me, do I want to bring something from my computer or Google Drive? And I'm going to do a computer. And you'll see my student, this should be it right here. Nope. Oh, save the wrong one. I will do the one from yesterday. So I don't know if you saw, but you can do up to 25 pages. But that might be, which is a lot. I would never recommend doing 25 pages, but maybe you have them reading a passage and doing something with it. So here you can see now I have a digital version of my page. You could also take a picture, right, with your phone and put that picture on here. So now this is where I can start to annotate and have fun with this. So anywhere I click, it's going to have a little plus button go. One of the things I really like about this though, is so when I hit this plus, is you could add, like, so say if you have if it's a very wordy, like this has very wordy directions, I might want to add an audio file of me saying what I want them to use. So that way they can also hear me say it before they actually have to do it. Or maybe you include a video of you modeling how to do this problem before you have them go forward and do it, right? So maybe I'm going to add an audio file here. going to click record audio. Now it's recording everything. I could read aloud, right? So the arrays below, reach here, mark the array to show the number, write an equation to represent the problem whenever you're done recording. But then what's nice is when the kids get this, they will be able to hit play and hear the directions as well. Now I want to start playing with my question. So here, right, the first thing they need to do is they need to label this array. So Steve baked 36 cookies, he put 4 cookies in each bag. How many bags of cookies did he have? They have to mark this up. So I'm gonna hit plus, this is gonna be my first question. And I'm gonna have this be a show your work question. And so, right, so what I'm gonna have them do here is, right, they are going to please model the problem using the array. Now, when they have this, they still see the original document along with what they're working on. So what's nice is if it's written here, you don't have to retype everything, which is helpful. Now, when you go here, right now, what they can do, if they do show your work, it's just a blank canvas, but you could actually bring in a photo that then they could annotate. So I want them to actually annotate this grid. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring up that workbook. And I'm gonna just take a screenshot of the picture I want them to annotate. And so now, when I go to edit background, where it says picture, I'm gonna bring in my picture. It's my screenshot I just took. And then I can click and drag and make it bigger or smaller. So I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger so it's easier for them to work on. But then what's nice is they have all these tools over here or what they have to annotate. So they have a drawing tool, they have shapes, they have a text tool, they also have eraser, they have like a line tool, so they can do all this annotation, and you can also use these ahead of time. So what's gonna happen is that's kind of like a template that they'd work with. So you can basically create a template. When you're done, you hit the check. And so now you see, right, that's there, that's ready to go. And you can change the point value. I want this to be worth 2 points. I like models. Now I want, oh no, sorry. Let's go back. There we go. All right, so now I want to add in the next piece. I'm going to hit a plus. This is going to be the equation one, right? They need to type in the equation. So I'm going to click that. This is going to be a numeric response. So write an equation that represents the problem. And then when they do this, you can also build in an answer key. So you can actually have it so that it auto corrects it. So for this one, right, it's 36 divided by 4. And so now it'll actually auto check it for me. You can set it so it allows a partial match. So that way it's not having to match, right, every word, spelling, space, and everything, which is nice. So there's a little thing, and also case sensitive if that's something that you're worried about. You can also attach it to standards. So now I have a numeric response. Now over here, I'm going to add another question. This one is multiple choice. Right, so the answer to this problem tells A is how many in each group, and B is how many groups. I can hit the trash can to get rid of the options, the extra options I don't want, or if you want to add options, you can click here. And then I can choose which one is the correct answer. Right? So if this one baked 36 cookies, he put 4 cookies in each bag. How many bags of cookies will he have? And that's how many groups. So that way it'll, again, auto-grade it for me. You can have it so it randomizes the order. You can also set it so that it requires the kids to show their work. So they're already showing their work with this array problem, but maybe you have an answer key, but you also want to make sure your kids show their work. This will require them to show their work as well. So they'll get that canvas to work on.
Christy, do students get the typing feature for typing their equation?
Yes, they get that calculator. So they can hit all the symbols.